Debir Hayamim Aleph, or First Chronicles 7 through 11. And the sons of Issachar, Tola and Puah, Yashub and Shimron, 4. And the sons of Tola, Uzi and Raphiah and Yeriel and Yamai and Yibsam and Shemuel, heads of their father's house. Of Tola there were great men of might in their generations. Their number in the days of David was 22,600. And the sons of Uzi, Yizriah. And the sons of Yizriah, Mikael, Obadiah, and Yoel, Yishshaiah. All 5 of them were heads. And with them by their generations, according to their fathers' houses, were 36,000. Bands of the army for battle, for they had many wives and sons. And their brothers among all the clans of Issachar were mighty brave men, listed by their genealogies, 87,000 in all. Of Benjamin, Bela and Becher and Yediael, 3. And the sons of Bela, Etzban and Uzi and Uziel and Yeremoth and Eri, 5. Heads of their fathers' houses, and they were listed by their genealogies, 22,034 mighty brave men. And the sons of Becher, Zemerah and Joash and Eleazar and Elioenai and Omri and Yeremoth and Abiah and Anathoth and Elameth. All these were the sons of Becher, with their genealogy according to their generation, heads of their fathers' houses, 20,200 mighty brave men. And the son of Yediael, Bilhan, and the sons of Bilhan, Yehosh and Benjamin, and Ehud, and Kenaanah, and Zethon, and Tarshish, and Ahishahar. All these sons of Yediael were heads of their fathers' houses, 17,200 mighty brave men going out to the army for battle. And Shuppim and Huppim were the sons of Er, and Hushim was the son of Aher. And the sons of Naphtali, Yatziel and Guni and Yetzer and Shallum, sons of Bilhah. And the sons of Manasseh, his Aramean concubine, bore him Machir, the father of Gilad, the father of Azriel, and Machir took wives for Huppim and Shuppim, and the name of one was Ma'akah, and the name of the second was Zelophehad, and Zelophehad had daughters. But Ma'akah, the wife of Machir, bore a son, and she called his name Peresh, and the name of his brother was Sheresh, and his sons were Ulam and Rakem. And the son of Ulam, Beden. These were the sons of Gilad, son of Machir, son of Manasseh. And his sister, Hamoleketh, bore Ishad, and Abiezer, and Mahlah. And the sons of Shemitah, Ayan, and Shechem, and Lehi, and Aniam. And the sons of Ephraim, Shuthelah, and Bered, his son, and Tahath, his son, and Eladah, his son, and Tahath, his son, and Zebed, his son, and Shuthelah, his son, and Ezer, and Elad. But the men of Gath who were born in that land killed them, because they came down to take their livestock. And Ephraim, their father, mourned many days, and his brothers came down to comfort him. And when he went in to his wife, she conceived and bore a son, and he called his name Bariah, because evil had come upon his house. And his daughter was She'erah, who built Lower and Upper Beth Haran and Uzin She'erah. And Repha was his son, as well as Resheph and Telah his son, and Tahan his son, Ladan his son, Ammihud his son, Elishama his son, Nun his son, Yehoshua his son. And their possessions and dwelling places were in Bethel and its towns, to the east of Naaran, and to the west of Gezer and its towns, and Shechem and its towns, as far as Ayah and its towns. And by the borders of the children of Manasseh were Beth Shean and its towns, Ta'anak and its towns, Megiddo and its towns, Dor and its towns. In these dwelt the children of Joseph, son of Israel. The sons of Asher, Yimnah and Yishwa and Yishwi and Beriah and their sister Sarah. And the sons of Beriah, Heber and Malchiel, who was the father of Berzoth. And Heber brought forth Yaphlet and Shomer and Hotham and their sister Shua. And the sons of Yaphlet, Pasak and Bimhal and Ashwath. These were the children of Yaphlet. And the sons of Shemer, Ahai and Rohaga and Yehuba and Aram. And the sons of his brother Helem, Zophah and Yimnah and Shelesh and Amal. The sons of Tzophah, Suah and Harnefer and Shual and Beri and Yimrah, Betzer and Hod and Shammah and Shilshah and Yithran and Beerah. And the sons of Yether, Yephunah and Pispah and Ara. And the sons of Ulah, Ara and Hanael and Ritzia. All these were the children of Asher, heads of their fathers' houses, chosen ones, mighty brave men, chief leaders. And when they registered by genealogy for the army, for battle, their number was 26,000. Chapter 8. And Benjamin brought forth Bela his firstborn, Ashbel the second, Ahra the third, Nobah the fourth, and Rapha the fifth. And the sons of Bela, Adar, and Gera, and Abihud, and Abishua, and Naaman, and Ahawah, and Gera, and Shaphupan, and Horam. And these are the sons of Ehud. They were the heads of their fathers' houses of the inhabitants of Geba, and they were exiled to Manahath. And Naaman and Ahiah and Gera, he exiled them. And Ehud brought forth Uzzah and Ahud. And Shah-Harayim brought forth children in the field of Moab, after he had sent away Hushim and Ba'arah his wives. And by Hodesh his wife he brought forth Jobab and Tisbiah and Maishah and Malcolm and Yeutz and Shobiah and Mirmah. These were his sons, heads of their fathers' houses. And by Hushim he brought forth Abitub and Elpaal. And the sons of Elpaal, Aber and Misham and Shemer, who built Ono and Lod with its towns. And Berah and Shema, who were heads of their fathers' houses of the inhabitants of Ayalon, who drove out the inhabitants of Gath. And Ahio, Sheshach, and Yeremoth, and Zebadiah, and Arad, and Eder, and Mikael, and Yispah, and Yoha were the sons of Berah. And Zebadiah, and Meshullam, and Hizki, and Heber, and Yishmerai, and Yizliah, and Yobab were the sons of Elpaal. And Yakim, and Zikri, and Zabdi, and Eliah, and Silithah, and Eliel, and Adiah, and Beriah, and Shimrah were the sons of Shimi. And Yishpan, and Eber, and Eliel, and Abdon, and Zikri, and Hanan, and Hananiah, and Ilam, and Atothia, and Yiftaiah, and Penuel were the sons of Shashak. And Shamsharai, and Shahariah, and Athaliah, and Arashah, and Eliah, and Zikri were the sons of Jeroham. These were the heads of their fathers' houses by their generations' heads. These dwelt in Jerusalem. And the father of Gaban, whose wife's name was Ma'akah, dwelt at Gaban. And his firstborn son was Abdon, then Tsor, and Kish, and Baal, and Nadab, and Gedor, and Ahio, and Zecher, and Mikloth, who brought forth Shema. And they also dwelt alongside their relatives in Jerusalem with their brothers. And Ner brought forth Kish, and Kish brought forth Sha'ul, and Sha'ul brought forth Jehonathan, and Malchishua, and Abinadab, and Eshbaal. And the sons of Jehonathan was Merib-Baal, and Merib-Baal brought forth Micah, and the sons of Micah, Pithon, and Melech, and Ta'ariah, and Ahaz. And Ahaz brought forth Jehoiada, and Jehoiada brought forth Elameth, and Osmaweth, and Zimri. And Zimri brought forth Motzah, and Motzah brought forth Benah, Rapha his son, Elisah his son, Atzel his son. And Atzel had 6 sons, whose names were these: Azrikam, Bokeru, and Yishmael, and She'ariah, and Obadiah, and Hanan. All these were the sons of Atzel. And the sons of Eshek his brother, Ulam his firstborn, Yahush the second, and Eliphalet the third. And the sons of Ulam were mighty brave men, archers, and had many sons and grandsons, 150. These were all the sons of Benjamin. Chapter 9. All Israel registered themselves by genealogy, and see, they were written in the book of the sovereigns of Israel. And Yehudah was exiled to Babel for their trespass. And the first inhabitants who were in their possessions in their cities of Israel were the priests, the Levites, and Nethinim. And in Jerusalem dwelt some of the children of Yehudah, and some of the children of Benjamin, and some of the children of Ephraim and Manasseh. Uthai, son of Ammihud, son of Omri, son of Imri, son of Bani, of the sons of Peretz, the son of Yehudah. And of the Shilonites, Asiel was the firstborn and his sons. And of the sons of Zerah, Yeuel and their brothers, 690. And of the sons of Benjamin, Salu, son of Meshullam, son of Hodawiah, son of Hasanuah, and Yibniah, son of Yeroham, and Elah, son of Uzi, son of Mikri, and Meshullam, son of Shephatiah, son of Reuel, son of Yibniah, and their brothers, according to their generations, 956. All these men were heads of a father's house in their father's houses. And of the priests, Yedaiah, and Yehoyarib, and Yechin, and Azariah, son of Hilkiah, son of Meshullam, son of Zadok, son of Marioth, son of Ahitub, the officer over the house of Elohim, and Adiah, son of Jeroham, son of Pashur, son of Malchiah, and son of Maasai, son of Adiel, son of Yasarah, son of Meshullam, son of Meshilemith, son of Immer, and their brothers, heads of their fathers' houses, 1,760 able men for the work of the service of the house of Elohim. And of the Levites, Shemaiah, son of Hashub, son of Azrikam, son of Hashabiah, of the sons of Merari, and Bakbakor, Haresh, and Galal, and Mattaniah, son of Micah, son of Zikri, son of Asaph, and Obadiah, son of Shemaiah, son of Galal, son of Yeduthan, and Berechiah, son of Asa, son of Elkanah, who dwelt in the villages of the Netophathites. And the gatekeepers, Shallum, and Akub, and Talmon, and Ahiman, and their brothers, Shallum the chief. And up till then they were gatekeepers for the camps of the children of Levi at the sovereign's gate on the east. And Shallum, son of Kor, son of Abiasaph, son of Korah, and his brothers from his father's house, the Korahites, were over the work of the service, guards of the thresholds of the tent, and their fathers had been guards of the entrance to the camp of Yehovah. And Phinehas, son of Eleazar, was the leader over them in time past. Yehovah was with him. Zechariah, son of Meshelemiah, was gatekeeper at the entrance of the tent of appointment. All those chosen as gatekeepers at the thresholds were 212. They were registered by genealogy in their villages. David and Shemuel, the seer, had appointed them to their office of trust. So they and their sons were over the gates of the house of Yehovah, the house of tent, by watches. The gatekeepers were on the four sides, the east, west, north, and south, and their brothers in their villages had come with them from time to time for 7 days. For the four gatekeepers were in an office of trust. They were Levites. They were over the rooms and treasuries of the house of Elohim. They spent the night all around the house of Elohim because they had duty, and they were to open it morning by morning. And some of them were over the vessels of service, for they brought them in and took them out by count. And some of them were appointed over the vessels, even over all the vessels of the set-apart place, and over the fine flour, and the wine, and the oil, and the incense, and the spices. And some of the sons of the priests blended the compound of spices. And Matthiah of the Levites, the firstborn of Shallum, the Korhite, was entrusted with the making of the flat cakes. And some of the brothers of the sons of the Kehathites were over the showbread to prepare every Sabbath. And these were the singers, heads of the fathers' houses of the Levites in the rooms, and they were exempted from other duties, for they were employed in that work day and night. These heads of the fathers' houses of the Levites were heads throughout their generations. They dwelled at Jerusalem. And Yael, the father of Gaban, whose wife's name was Ma'akah, dwelt at Gaban. And his firstborn son was Abdon, then Tsor, and Kish, and Baal, and Ner, and Nadab, and Gedor, and Ahio, and Zechariah, and Mikloth. And Mikloth brought forth Shemam. And they too dwelt alongside their relatives in Jerusalem with their brothers. And Ner brought forth Kish, and Kish brought forth Sha'ul, and Sha'ul brought forth Johanathan, and Malchishua, and Abinadab, and Eshbaal. And the sons of Johanathan was Meribib, Baal, And Merib-Baal brought forth Micah, and the sons of Micah, Pithon, and Melech, and Tahriah, and Ahaz, who brought forth Yara, and Yara brought forth Alameth, and Asmaweth, and Zimri, and Zimri brought forth Moza, and Moza brought forth Binah, and Raphiah was his son, Elisah his son, Atzel his son, and Atzel had 6 sons, whose names were these: Azrikam, Bokaru, and Yishmael, and Sheariah, and Obadiah, and Hanan. These were the sons of Atzel. Chapter 10. And the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines, and fell slain on Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines pursued Sha'ul and his sons, and the Philistines struck Jonathan and Abinadab and Malchishua, sons of Sha'ul. And the battle was heavy on Sha'ul, and the archers hit him, and he was wounded by the archers. And Sha'ul said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and thrust me through with it, lest these uncircumcised ones come and abuse me." But his armor-bearer would not, for he was much afraid. So Sha'ul took a sword and fell on it. And when his armor-bearer saw that Sha'ul was dead, he also fell on his sword and died. Thus Sha'ul and his 3 sons died, and all his house. They died together. And when all the men of Israel who were in the valley saw that they had fled, and that Sha'ul and his sons were dead, they forsook their cities and fled, and the Philistines came and dwelt in them. And the next day it came to be, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, that they found Sha'ul and his sons fallen on Mount Gilboa. They stripped him and took his head and his armor, and sent word throughout the land of the Philistines to proclaim the news among their idols and among the people, and put his armor in the house of their mighty ones, and fastened his head in the house of Dagon. And all Yabesh Gilead heard of all that the Philistines had done to Sha'ul, and all the brave men arose and took the body of Sha'ul and the bodies of his sons, and they brought them to Yabesh, and buried their bones under the tamarisk tree at Yabesh, and fasted 7 days. Thus Sha'ul died for his trespass, which he had trespassed against Jehovah, because he did not guard the word of Jehovah, and also for asking a medium for to make an inquiry, and did not inquire of Jehovah. So he put him to death, and turned the reign over to David, son of Yishai.